welcome back to my channel. I'm the Tiny Vegan, and if you haven't seen me here before, please like and subscribe if you'd like to, because it will really help my channel grow. So in today's video we're doing 3 easy, simple and cheap meal ideas. So the method and ingredients and recipe for everything will be in the description box below if you wanted to try them out for yourself. I hope you enjoy the video.
So I like to get all my ingredients ready first. So we have chopped tomatoes, chutney, vinegar, tomato ketchup and all the spices. So we have mixed herbs, garlic granules, onion granules, a sprinkle of chili flakes, half a teaspoon of sugar, salt and pepper to taste, and then also some celery salt, but that's optional. So next you want to put your pasta on to boil. Here we're using spaghetti and my pan's a bit small so I had to break it, but penne also works really well with this recipe. So next you want to slice your onion. We slice ours quite small because it creates more of a smoother sauce. So with your pasta boiling, you should now have all your ingredients ready. So we added about a tablespoon of oil to a preheated pan, and then you just want to fry off your onion until it turns translucent. So when your onions are cooked through, you want to add in a can of chopped tomatoes, and you want to turn the heat down so it's a simmer rather than a boil. So next you want to add in all your herbs and spices. We did use chili flakes, cayenne pepper and smoked sweet paprika in this one, but if you don't like hot foods then I would just omit the cayenne pepper and the chili flakes. So we also added in the tomato ketchup, the malt vinegar and a sweet chutney. The reason why a sweet chutney works so well is it really brings out the sweet tomato-ness of this dish. You can use any chutney, but I would recommend using a sweet one if you can. So next you just want to add in salt and pepper to taste. And you just want to stir that all in until it's completely combined. And then serve, and that's it. It really is a very simple, quick, easy pasta dish. It probably took me about 10-15 minutes. But the secret ingredient definitely is the sweet chutney, so if you don't have that, it really will affect the taste. We actually did make 2 that evening. That's why there's going to be 2 pans, because we made one without the chili flakes and the cayenne pepper, because I'm a wuss when it comes to spice, but my boyfriend quite likes it, so he had a spicy one and I had quite a mild one. But I would say to leave in the smoked sweet paprika, just because it gives it more of a sweet taste. It's not a spicy paprika. So first you want to preheat your oven to 200 degrees and line a tray with baking parchment. So next you want to make sure you have all your ingredients ready. So we had a medium-sized butternut squash, a can of coconut milk, 3 cloves of garlic, an onion, 2 carrots, salt and pepper for seasoning, 1.5 to 2 stock cubes, some oil for frying and all the herbs and spices. So we used a mild curry powder here as I don't like strong curry flavour things, but you can also use a medium to hot curry powder, but then I would recommend reducing the quantity. We also have half a teaspoon of sugar here, but that's of course optional. Next you just want to peel your butternut squash. Next you just want to cut the butternut squash in half. I really struggled here as the knife was quite blunt. And you just want to scoop out the seeds with a spoon, and you can actually just roast those seeds, put with a bit of seasoning and just eat them as a snack. If you wanted to really reduce the amount of waste. Then you just want to cut your butternut squash into chunks. The smaller the chunks, the faster it will cook. Next, you want to put the chunks into a bowl with some olive oil or oil of your choice, and you just want to toss it together until it's all evenly coated. Then you just want to add all your spices into the bowl, and you just again want to toss this all together with the chunks so that it's all completely coated. And you can put your carrots in here. We actually put the carrots in after to pick up all the residue from the bowl, but it will be probably easy just to put it in here. Then you just want to add it to your baking parchment. You want to make sure that it's a nice flat even layer because it will help it cook faster. Then you just want to put that all into your preheated oven. Then slice your carrots into chunks. You actually do want to try and make the chunks of the carrots smaller than the butternut squashes. They do take a little bit longer to cook. And then just add it into your bowl and mix it around to pick up all the residue of the herbs and spices. And then you just want to add it onto your baking parchment with your butternut squash. Next, you just want to chop your onion. You can either do it in chunks or you can do it in thin slivers like I'm doing it here. You want to crush all your garlic cloves. Then you just add your onion and your garlic to your baking parchment in the oven about 15-20 minutes after your butternut squash and carrots have gone in. This is after about 30-35 minutes of cooking. The carrot and the butternut squash should be squidgy to poke with a knife. If it's not, then you can just put it in the oven for a little bit longer. Next, you want to preheat a pan and put in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once your oil is hot, you just want to get all your roasted veggies out of the oven and put them into the pan. So next, just add your stock cubes to about a pint of boiling water and stir it till it's dissolved. As you can see here, mine didn't dissolve properly, but that's fine because it will just dissolve in the soup. If you like runny soup, then you can add more water to your stock cubes, but don't forget that the coconut milk does water it down too. So next, you just add in your can of full fat coconut milk. Turn up the heat and stir it until it's all dissolved. Then you just want to add in half quantity to the blender and blend it till it's completely smooth. Once it's all blended, that's when you can taste test it and see if you need to add any salt or pepper in. And that's literally it. It's a very, very simple recipe and it's so creamy and tasty. First, you want to preheat your pan and put in a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Then first you want to cube up your tofu. You can use any tofu that you like, but we use the cauldron tofu here. As you can see, I struggled a little bit as it was very crumbly, but that doesn't matter because it doesn't matter if it's in little pieces when it goes in the stir fry. I also am aware that this is a boning knife, but we do tend to use it when something's quite hard to cut because it is very, very sharp. You then want to put your tofu cubes into a small bowl with a generous dash of soy sauce, and we also use some liquid seasoning, but that's optional if you have it. then just want to add your tofu into your preheated pan and cook it until it feels crispy. I think that should probably take around 10 minutes. So next you just want to cut up all your veggies. The great thing about a stir fry is that literally any veggies should work in there. So whatever you have left over in the fridge, just throw it in there. That's what we did. If you are cutting up crunchier vegetables like carrots, you do want to cut them a little bit smaller so it's not too much of a crunch, but you still get that texture in there. And we used red cabbage, courgette, spring onions, radishes, carrots, broccoli, literally anything you have, throw it in a stir fry. Stir fry is also great cold the day after, so if you do end up making too much and you just literally put whatever you have in there, then just save it for the next day in the fridge and it will still be really tasty. Once your tofu is cooked, you just want to transfer it into a bowl and set that aside. So using the same pan that you cook the tofu in, you just want to put a tablespoon of olive oil in the bottom. The pan should already be quite hot, so don't worry about preheating it. Then just add all those veggies in there and give it a good stir. So then you want to add in 1/4 teaspoon of ginger and 1 teaspoon of garlic granules, but both of those are optional, so don't worry if you don't have them. And then a generous amount of soy sauce, and then we also use some sweet chilli, but if you don't like hot foods, then probably only put about a teaspoon in, but if you do like hot foods, then as much as you like. We then added these medium soft noodles from Lidl. They are accidentally vegan and they do really help to bulk the stir fry out. So if you're going to add noodles, go ahead and add them now, but if not, veggie stir fry is just as good. Just add your tofu pieces and that is literally it. A stir fry is such a cheap, easy, quick and simple way of getting in all those veggies, especially if you have some just sitting in the back of the fridge. Then you can literally throw anything in there and it makes such a delicious meal.